The wind around outpost K-19 carried a metallic bite, the kind that tasted like rust and old danger. Soldiers stood in rigid formations, their eyes shifting uneasily toward the 40-foot gate that marked the perimeter of the dead zone, a forbidden stretch of land where communication signals died, drones vanished, and no patrol had ever returned intact. The place had a reputation that made even decorated operators go pale. But today wasn't about them. Today was about her. She arrived with no escort, no fanfare, only a quiet stride and a sealed mission envelope tucked under her arm. The young recruits whispered as she passed, trying and failing to identify her rank. Her uniform bore no patches, no insignia, nothing but a name tag, R. Hale. The only person who didn't seem unnerved was Colonel Darius Voss, a broad-shouldered commander with a permanent smirk carved into his face. He watched her approach with a mix of curiosity and challenge. "So you're the one the directorate sent?" he asked, crossing his arms. "They didn't tell me you'd be so small." A few soldiers sniggered. She didn't respond. She simply handed him the sealed envelope. Voss tore it open, skimmed the contents, and his eyebrow arched. "This is it," he said loudly, making sure everyone heard. "She goes in alone. No drone support, no tracker, no radio. Walk into the dead zone, retrieve the black box from the crashed Sentinel, and walk out." Someone whispered, "That's suicide." Someone else muttered, "They just want to see her fail." But Hale only looked at the gate, calm, steady, as if she were staring at nothing more threatening than a hallway. Voss leaned in, voice dropping to a taunting rumble. "We send seasoned operators in groups of 8 and never see them again. But headquarters thinks you can do it alone. You must have some friends in high places." Finally, she spoke, a soft voice that somehow cut through the wind. "I don't have friends," she said. "I have a job." Before he could reply, the warning siren blared. The gate groaned open, revealing a desolate landscape of twisted metal, black sand, and skeletal remains of vehicles that had once belonged to humanity's best. The temperature dropped 10 degrees the moment the air seeped out. The soldiers stepped back instinctively. Hale stepped forward. No prayer, no hesitation, no backward glance. Her boots crossed the threshold, and the hum of the outside world died instantly. The air beyond was unnaturally silent, like stepping into a vacuum. She adjusted her backpack straps, tested the weight of the collapsible baton at her hip, and disappeared deeper into the gray fog that swallowed everything whole. The gate slammed shut behind her. The soldiers murmured nervously. Colonel Voss exhaled, shaking his head. "Mark the time," he ordered. "She won't last an hour." But 20 minutes later, as the monitors flickered with static and the winds around the dead zone shifted, more than one soldier felt a strange, uneasy question forming in their mind. Who exactly was Hale, and why did she walk into a place no one else survived as if she already knew the way out? The moment Hale crossed the boundary, the world shifted. It wasn't just silent, it was as if the air swallowed sound before it had the chance to exist. Even her own breathing felt muted, absorbed by an invisible force that coated the dead zone like an unseen fog. Her steps disturbed the blackened dust beneath her boots. The ground was scarred with jagged tire marks frozen in place, as if the vehicles that made them had simply disintegrated mid-motion. Metal fragments glittered like broken mirrors, each twisted piece humming faintly with residual energy. She moved through it with the calm precision of someone who had walked worse paths. 3 minutes in, her wristwatch died. 5 minutes in, her compass spun uncontrollably. At 10 minutes, her flashlight flickered before giving up. She kept walking. The crashed Sentinel drone was supposed to be 20 kilometers in. But distance behaved strangely here, skies warped, horizons shifted, landmarks bent in impossible ways. Most people panicked when the geometry twisted, some screamed, some ran, some simply collapsed in terror. Hale blinked once and kept her bearings by something no map offered. She could feel the pull. Her gift wasn't spoken of. It wasn't understood. It wasn't even scientifically accepted. But whatever permeated the dead zone, the static, the field, the anomaly, echoed inside her bones like an old, familiar song. Others got lost in it. She listened to it. 2 hours in, the first shadow moved. It slid across the dunes without disturbing a grain of sand. Tall, angular, wrong, like a silhouette of a man stretched by hands that didn't understand human anatomy. Its joints bent backward, its head tilted too far to the side, its arms dangled past its knees. It watched her. Anyone else would have run. Hale stopped and slowly turned her head toward it. Her eyes were steady, cold, unblinking. The shadow reeled back, as if shocked. Not today, she whispered. A gust of unnatural wind tore across the landscape, making every shard of metal vibrate. The creature retreated into the fog. She continued until the ground beneath her changed from burnt sand to cracked plating. A half-buried shape rose from the earth, the remains of the Sentinel drone, its carbon frame split open, core exposed, its black box faintly glowing with a pulse like a heartbeat. She crouched. The moment her fingers touched the casing, the world convulsed. The sky went white, the ground shook, thousands of whispers filled the air, overlapping, desperate, warning. Turn back, you don't belong here, you are not one of us. Leave before. She tightened her grip on the box. The whispers stopped, silence returned, deeper than before. Behind her, the shadow creature reappeared, but now dozens joined it, forming a semicircle, tall, unnatural silhouettes watching her every move. She stood slowly, the box secured in her pack. The creatures did not attack. They parted, creating a path. As she walked through them, the fog swirled back, closing the trail behind her. The dead zone seemed to shift in acknowledgement, as if recognizing something in her, or something she carried within. For the first time, she spoke into the silence. I'm going home, and the dead zone let her.